Welcome to this episode of my podcast. My name is Kalsoom, and I specialize in training medical professionals how to get the score they need in IELTS or OET so that they can get their dream job, take their career to the next level, and start living their best life with their families by providing them with bigger and better opportunities. Before I start with the main topic for this week's episode, I just want to make you aware of how you can use this podcast to your maximum advantage. This is no ordinary podcast. You can use this podcast by one, simply listening to the podcast to get some advice that will help you in your IELTS or OET preparation. Number two, actively listening to this podcast to improve your listening skills. I try to keep it short. I know you guys are very busy people, but you can use it for focused listening practice. So you can use the show notes, which is a complete transcript of each episode. You can read the episode as you listen and analyze the language, learn new words or phrases, practice pronunciation and intonation. Number three, also included in the show notes are some comprehension style questions that you can use by reading the transcript, using your skimming and scanning techniques to answer the questions. Answers are provided at the end, but you can also check your answers by listening to the podcast. Number four, you can use it as a listening test and answer the same questions while listening. And number five, I also include a brief analysis of some useful words or phrases that I have used in the podcast, which you can learn. So it's up to you how you would like to use this tool. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with your colleagues and social media so that more people can benefit from it too. Welcome to this episode of my podcast. This episode I am dedicating to talking about my membership, my OET Success membership. I am getting so many questions. I'm receiving so many questions about the membership training, and about questions like how much it is, how it works, how I will give feedback, when the lessons are, what if you can't make the live lessons, and on and on and on, etc., etc. So I thought I would just do a short episode telling you exactly how it works, as well as answering all of these questions. And hopefully that should answer all of the questions, and you have all the information you need about how the OET Success membership works. So one of the main questions I've been asked is, there are already so many other OET membership trainings out there that work in a similar way. Why is yours any different? And this is such a good question. I was so glad that somebody asked this. And it really strikes at the heart of what my OET membership training is all about. Yes, there are lots of memberships out there and they are good. However, the problem with most of them is that they are too big. There are too many students in there. And as a student, you get lost in the sea of comments and questions that get asked in the training. The training is quite generic because it has to be, because there's so many students in there. A kind of one size fits all type of training. So one way of training that has to suit everybody in that group. The problem with that is that you as an individual don't get the help you need. You don't get the vital feedback you need. You don't get your questions answered. So you're not actually getting the help you need. Now, how do I do this in my membership? Well, how do I know this, first of all? How do I know this to be true about these other memberships? I get a lot of students, a lot of unhappy students that come to me that have left those bigger memberships telling me that they need my help. you know, and just in recording this episode, the week that I recorded this episode, you know, 3 doctors got in contact with me that started training with me, who are unhappy with the other membership trainings. And, you know, they said we just weren't getting the help that we needed. Now, I'm not saying those memberships are not very good. You know, they are very good and they have their place. What I am saying is they don't suit everybody. Some students need particular help, or they want to have direct contact with the teacher. They want to be able to ask a question to the teacher and know that they will get an answer to their question and get the help that they need and get the feedback that they need as an individual, not just as part of a huge group. Because of this, I've tried to create a membership that is at a size where I can easily give the feedback my students need in their writing and speaking especially. So the group will never be that big where I will not be able to give the feedback. So it means your questions will be answered by me. You will get feedback from me. You will have my attention. It means if there are too many people wanting to join, for example, the extra people will be put on a waiting list. And as soon as someone leaves the group and there is space, I will allow more people to come into the group. And it will be a Facebook group. By group, I mean, it is in a private Facebook group. So all the training, all the live sessions, all will be in that Facebook group. So who is the membership for? It's for nurses, mainly doctors and nurses who haven't booked their test yet, or maybe they have some time until their test. They've got maybe a few months, or they, you know, they're not in a mad rush to get the score that they need. Maybe you've taken the test you're taking the test for the first time, or maybe you've taken it for a few times and not been able to get the score that you need, and you have some time to prepare. So usually it's for people that haven't booked their test yet. The way in which the membership works is Monday to Thursday, each day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is dedicated to one subtest. So Monday is all about reading. Tuesday is all about listening. Wednesday is about speaking, and Thursday is all about writing. Each day you will receive a lesson to do with that subtest. So you'll be able to do that lesson with me. So for example, going through a reading question, you'll be given time to complete that answer. So it's interactive. So as I'm doing the lesson, you'll be able to complete the questions with me and see if you got the answer right and mark your own work. And, you know, don't worry if you can't make the lesson. It will all be recorded and posted into the Facebook group where you'll always be able to access everything at any time. And you can ask questions whenever you like. So even if you're watching last week's lessons, for example, you can still ask questions. So, you know, no one is ever behind on the training. You're working at your own pace, and I'm there to support you no matter where you are in the training. So that's Monday to Thursday. Friday is a Q&A day, so a question and answer session day where you can ask questions on any day. But on Friday, I come in live into the group, and you can come on live too, or you can ask your questions. Usually I post a little message into the group to say, okay, underneath this post, please ask all your questions if you can't make the live. So I'll answer all of those questions that people have written into the group, plus all the questions that people have that come in live into the session. So you can ask me anything about OET, about the lessons, about what you're finding challenging. And again, if you can't make the live sessions, then it's not a problem. You'll be given the opportunity to submit your questions to me before the Friday, and I'll answer them in the session for you. And again, it will all be recorded and you can watch it later. It'll be posted into the group so you can watch it later. Then Saturday and Sunday are what I call implementation days or catch-up days. So there are no new lessons on Saturday and Sunday. Instead, you have a chance to catch up on any lessons missed or watch some of the lessons again and practice again. And perhaps, you can post some questions and, I'll still be available over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, to answer all of your questions. A few of you have been asking about feedback, and this is a very important part of your preparation, and therefore it is a very important part of the membership, is giving feedback, because if you don't get the feedback, you don't know what to improve, you don't know if you are improving, and you don't know how to improve. So feedback is key, and quite rightly so, people have asked me about how I will give feedback in the group. So with the reading and listening, you'll be taught strategies and then given the chance to practice those techniques in the lesson and score your own work and ask questions in the lesson about anything you're struggling with. So you'll be fully supported in the group. So feedback will be given in this way for the reading and listening. With the speaking, there'll be weekly live practice sessions in Zoom. So a link will be posted into the Facebook group for Wednesday, because that's the day for speaking. You can join the Zoom session and practice your speaking with me. So this is a group session. It's a really powerful way to practice, because not only will you receive feedback and learn from your own speaking practice, but you will also be learning from other people's feedback. So it's a really, really powerful way to practice and improve. Again, these sessions will be recorded and posted into the Facebook group for everyone to benefit from. And you don't have to have your camera on if you're not comfortable with that. You can have the camera off, not a problem. I sometimes have my camera off, so that's absolutely fine. You can come in, do the speaking practice, and get your feedback and listen to everybody else's as well. So that's not a problem. There's no pressure to have your camera on. With the writing, the lessons will have, so the lessons you receive on the Thursday, which is the writing day, will have practice built into the lessons. So you will also be set homework. So there'll be practice within the lesson itself that you can submit, and there will be homework which you can submit to me, and then I will give feedback in the group by showing the letters you submit, by sharing the screen and showing you the letters, but without showing the name, of course. I won't show whose letter it is. I'll, black out the name. So only you will know that it's your letter, and I'll give the feedback. So again, everybody's learning from each other. So, that's how feedback will be given in the group. There will also be lots of bonus lessons to help you improve your grammar and vocabulary. Also, I'm sharing study tips. If you haven't already downloaded my free OET, Planning for OET Success training, that will be available in the group as well. So in that training, I share study tips, revision and practice techniques, how to time block your time and create time to study, having the right study mindset to support you further. So all of the trainings about how you should be practicing your reading, your listening, your writing, and your speaking, all that training will be in there for you to access at any time. What else have I missed out? So, so let's go back to the lessons. What do the lessons include? The lessons that you'll receive Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So there are two types of lessons. The first are the modules, which contain the theory, if you like, the vital information, the strategies with a demonstration. So I actually show you how to answer the questions. So for the reading, for example, part A, I will show you the strategies that work. And I'll demonstrate them to you in those modules. The second type of lesson are the tutorials. These tutorials they show you practically how to implement everything in the modules by going through questions and actually using the strategies practically and showing you how to use it in real questions. So it's like when you're at university, you have the lectures and you have the tutorials. The lectures are where you sit down and listen to the lecturer, to the professor, excuse me, and you make notes. And you're learning all the theory, you're absorbing all the information. And then later on in the week, you go to the tutorials where you implement everything you've learned in the lectures by working through exam questions or practicing the skills. So really, it includes everything you need to learn to improve and get the score that you need. You'll be part of a wider community of like-minded medical professionals from all over the world. So not only will you be learning from me, but also from each other, which makes the learning process so much more powerful and enjoyable. It's nice to be supporting each other. It's a nice way to train. It's a nice way to learn. So it's also very flexible. It's a pay monthly membership. So you pay £24.99. So that's $32.91 roughly. That's just the conversion I've done today. That might go slightly up or down, depending on when you're listening to this, but it's around $32.91. And that's per month. That's what you pay per month. And you can cancel your membership at any time. So if, for example, after 1 month or 2 months, you feel you don't need any more training, then you can cancel your membership. No questions asked by me. You can just send me an email and say, after this month, I don't wish to continue, please cancel my subscription. So you are in control. So it's affordable, it's flexible, and very, very comprehensive in terms of the help and the support that you receive. So will you be joining us? If this sounds like something you need, if this sounds like the level of support and guidance you need, then I have left the link to join in the show notes. And I hope that answers most of the questions that I've received. Obviously, I will welcome more questions if you have some about the membership. But I hope that that's it. So I've left the link to the membership in the show notes. So you just click on the link and just follow the instructions. And I really hope to see you there. I really hope you have found this episode useful. Please let me know if you have. I would love to get your feedback. And if there is something you would like me to do an episode on for IELTS or for OET, please just let me know. The details on how you can contact me are in the show notes of this episode. And remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you are not willing to change or implement advice and you keep doing the same thing, you will keep getting the same results again and again. Real progress, real improvement comes when you push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with your colleagues and on your social media so that more people can benefit too. Take care and keep working hard.